Elaine was furious, full of hate, and thrilled all at the same time. The anger and hatred, of course, were for Jacob, that old master who never changed. After all these years, he was still thinking about that damn Zoe, but she was excited because she'd actually guessed it right. Didn't this mean she could transfer the $2 million away? Fine, so Jacob was still thinking about his first love. She would just transfer all the money out and then kick him out of the house. Besides, his old flame was in Europe, and he didn't have the money or the means to find her. Word was, she was living a great life now, and probably wouldn't give him a second look. "You old dog," she seethed. "Just you wait. You'll end up broke and wandering the streets." Her teeth, furious with Jacob. She immediately opened his mobile bank app, ready to transfer the entire $2 million Charlie had given him. To log in, she typed in Zoe's birthday as the password, and it actually worked. She saw the balance on the bank card was $2,027,232.15. The $2 million was from the transfer Jacob had just made. Another $20,000 was from the last time Charlie gave Jacob money for a dinner party, which he never spent. The remaining $7,000 was Jacob's personal stash. Elaine immediately hit the transfer button, filled in her own account information, and then typed in $2,027,232.14 in the transfer amount field. She decided to leave him with just a single cent to show him the price for crossing her. After double-checking all the transfer information, Elaine sneered and clicked Transfer Now. Then, a dialog box popped up. "Please enter your PIN code." Elaine typed in Zoe's birthday again, but this time it didn't work. The mobile banking app immediately showed an alert. "Incorrect PIN. You have 2 more attempts today." Damn it! Elaine gritted her teeth and cursed. That old dog actually set a different code for payments. As she fumed, she wondered what on earth Jacob would set his code to. Since the phone's unlock code and the online banking password were both Zoe's birthday, the code had to have something to do with Zoe too, but she just couldn't think of any other significant details about her. She tried thinking about Zoe's old dorm room number and even her bed number from back in the day. The system prompted an error again, reminding her that she only had one more try for the day. If she got it wrong again, the mobile banking account would be locked. Elaine didn't dare to try again. If she failed and got locked out, Jacob would find out what she was up to before she could get the money. Realizing this, she could only grit her teeth and give up. She put Jacob's phone back where she found it. But now, she hated Jacob more than ever. She seethed, already planning to find someone to teach him a lesson, to make him forget all about that fox he was obsessed with. 10 minutes later, Jacob, having changed into a pair of long trousers, walked out of the bathroom, humming a little tune. Elaine had already slipped out of the bedroom and was now in the living room, pretending to watch TV. Jacob returned to the room and rushed over to the bed to check his mobile phone. The phone was right where he left it, but the single strand of hair he'd placed on it was gone. Looks like Elaine really had been trying to get into his phone on the sly. If she was trying to unlock it, there was only one reason. Money. Thankfully, he was smart and had changed the password ahead of time. Otherwise, if he had looked away for even 2 minutes, that $2 million could have been snatched by Elaine. Jacob was glad he'd been so cautious. He'd set the screen lock and mobile banking passwords to Zoe's birthday. As for the code, he used the date of the day he and Zoe first tasted the forbidden fruit. Only he and Zoe in the entire world knew that date, so he wasn't worried about Elaine ever guessing it. And as it turned out, Elaine really couldn't guess. But man, if Elaine ever found out about that, she'd probably come at him with a knife right then and there. All afternoon, Elaine looked really on edge. She was trying to figure out a way to get one over on Jacob and get her hands on that money. But after thinking long and hard, she wasn't getting anywhere. That evening, Charlie cooked dinner, and Claire got home from work. The moment Claire walked in, Jacob told her they were going to the furniture store the next morning. Claire rushed over and asked Charlie, "Where did you get $2 million? Charlie said casually, I did an energy alignment consultation. Claire was shocked. You made $2 million from one energy alignment job? Isn't that a little insane? Charlie shot back. Was it any less crazy when the White family just gave us a villa? Claire was speechless. Charlie said, "Honey, I know what you're worried about, but you can relax. I did an energy alignment for a major client, and it helped him solve a huge business problem. He ended up making tens of millions from it. So giving me $2 million was totally fair." That seemed to calm Claire down a bit. She asked, "Did you give the $2 million to Dad?" Charlie nodded. "Yeah, I gave it to him." Claire said anxiously, "I'm worried Mom will get fixated on the money. You know she'll just cause a scene again." Charlie smiled. "It's fine. We'll just go to the furniture store tomorrow and spend the $2 million. That way there won't be anything left for her to obsess over." Meanwhile, at the Wilson estate, Mrs. Wilson held the collection notice from Bank of America, her face twisted in an expression that was worse than tears. They owed Bank of America more than $10 million. According to the terms, they had to immediately repay 10%, which was over $1 million. The Wilson family was completely broke, and the collection notices were piling up. The $1 million plus owed to Bank of America was just the beginning. They were in a $20 million hole with the state bank and had no idea how to fill it. Noah was just as worried. He said to Mrs. Wilson, "Mom, this is bad. We should sell our antique furniture. We could probably get $1 million for it, right? We can pay this off and then figure out the rest." Sell the furniture? Is that all you can think about? Selling the furniture? Mrs. Wilson snapped angrily. "That furniture is all I have left from your father. Don't you feel any guilt suggesting we sell it?" Noah said helplessly. "What else can we do? If we don't sell it, we're never going to get past this." Mrs. Wilson snatched a teacup and threw it down at Noah's feet. The cup shattered, and Noah jumped back, startled. Mrs. Wilson glared at Noah, her teeth clenched. "I told you, over and over again, give me the money. Give me the money. And what did you do? You didn't listen to me. You didn't trust me. You played games, took all of your money and gave it to Yvonne, that damn woman. And now it's all gone. That witch Yvonne ran off with everything. Are you satisfied? Are you happy now?" Just hearing Yvonne's name made Noah's stomach turn. That woman was nothing but a liar. For more than 20 years, she had played her part perfectly, acting like she loved him and their kids, and seemed so dedicated to the family. But he never imagined that she would take all their money and just disappear, right when the Wilson family was at its lowest point. The whole thing was a massive blow to Noah, and it left him feeling deeply wounded. He wanted to find Yvonne and make her pay dearly, but in reality, there was no chance of that happening. He had asked around, searching everywhere for clues, but found nothing. Yvonne had disappeared completely, as if she had vanished off the face of the earth. Seeing Mrs. Wilson's fury, he had to try and calm her down. "Mom, you're right. But our biggest problem right now is that we need money to get through this. What about our furniture, or the antiques Dad left behind? I think we have to sell a few things so we can get some cash to live on." When Mrs. Wilson heard Noah ask her to sell furniture or antiques, she was furious. She snapped angrily, "I can handle selling the furniture, but don't you even think about touching the antiques. That is what your dad left me when he died." Noah quickly tried to calm her down. "Mom, what matters most is staying alive right now. Are you really going to hold on to those antiques until you can take them to Dad in the afterlife?" "Don't give me that crap," Mrs. Wilson cursed. "What do you know? All the furniture is listed as collateral with the bank. The second they come to foreclose, they'll seize every piece. But the antiques? The bank doesn't know about them. If we end up losing everything and the bank takes the house, those antiques are what will save us." It finally clicked for Noah. Selling the furniture now was basically like secretly getting rid of the bank's collateral ahead of time to cover their losses. But if they sold the antiques and the bank found out, They'd probably tear the house apart looking for them. Those antiques couldn't be sold unless it was a true emergency. So Noah quickly changed his tune, saying admiringly, "Mom, you're right. You're thinking much further ahead. I'll listen to you." Mrs. Wilson scoffed. "If you had just listened to me and given me the money in the first place, we wouldn't be in this mess today." Thinking about how the Wilson family's money had been cut off and the horrible reality of being buried in debt, Mrs. Wilson started shaking with anger, and it was all thanks to Noah's wife, Yvonne. If that witch Yvonne hadn't run off with the money, how could the Wilson family have ended up in this miserable state? Besides, Mrs. Wilson had a plan long ago. She'd asked her son to take out $8 million first, pay off part of the bank loan, and then stall for a while to figure something else out. But now, that plan was shot. They had no money, no one to turn to, and the bank was breathing down their necks. The entire Wilson family was on the verge of collapse. The angrier Mrs. Wilson got, the more she trembled, until she finally slammed her hand on the table and cursed. "Yvonne! That witch! How did I never see that she was a born traitor? Her and that other witch, Elaine, they're two peas in a pod. Letting her marry into the Wilson family was the biggest mistake of my life. I should have kicked her out and let her starve on the streets." At the thought, Mrs. Wilson gritted her teeth and said with pure rage, "That witch is probably living the high life right now. Over $2 million in cash, a new pretty boy on her arm. Who knows where she's shacked up, happy as can be." Mrs. Wilson had no idea that at that very moment her daughter-in-law Yvonne was in a situation far worse than anyone in the Wilson family could imagine. Every day, she was forced to dig coal in a dark coal furnace. She had to wear 26-pound cast-iron shackles on her feet. Working for 12 hours a day was mandatory. Rest was not an option. Her hands and feet were worn raw, covered in bloody blisters. On top of that, the owner of the mine where Yvonne had been sent was incredibly cruel. He assigned a brutal supervisor to oversee the group of laborers Orville had sent over. Yvonne had always taken good care of herself, and even in her 40s or 50s, she still had a certain charm. So when she arrived at the coal mine, she caught the eye of the overseer. At first, she was disgusted by the filthy, foul-smelling overseer. But after she finally broke, she became his woman at the black coal mine. Becoming the supervisor's woman meant she was spared some of the hard labor, but the mental toll was immense. She used to be a woman of considerable wealth, worth tens of millions, and living in a luxurious villa. She was part of high society. But now, she was trapped in a dim, dirty, and reeking shack. It was the worst kind of torture imaginable. The Wilson family had no idea Yvonne was suffering and being humiliated like this. They pictured her lounging in a 5-star hotel, being pampered by a lover 20 years younger than her. Because of this, Mrs. Wilson was cursing Yvonne out. When Noah and his children, Harold and Wendy, heard this, they weren't just not angry. It actually fueled their own anger and resentment. The truth was, the most miserable person in the whole family was Yvonne. For Noah, he felt like he'd lost everything, his wife and his money. He spent all day imagining Yvonne running wild with that $10 million, chasing after younger guys and forcing him to wear countless jester's caps. The reason Harold and Wendy hated Yvonne was simple: money. Without that money, the Wilson family was barely scraping by. Even though they were used to living like a couple of rich kids, they were now as desperate as stray dogs. The longer it went on, the more suffocated they felt. Damn it, Yvonne! That witch! If I ever get my hands on her, I swear I'll break her leg. It's the only way I'll ever get over this. Noah gritted his teeth and cursed out loud. After his outburst, he pulled out his phone and said angrily, "I'm calling a moving truck. I'm taking this furniture to a consignment shop tomorrow morning to get an estimate. If the price is right, I'm selling it on the spot." Mrs. Wilson stared at the furniture displayed in her home with a pained, heartbroken expression. Back when Mr. Wilson was alive, the Wilson family had been truly magnificent. Some of the furniture was made of fine, imported wood. It wasn't just valuable, it held sentimental value too. But they couldn't afford to be sentimental. If they didn't sell it, the bank would just take it sooner or later anyway. So she said to Noah, "If we sold this furniture slowly, we could get maybe 1.6, 1.7 million. But since we're in a hurry to sell, the buyer's going to lowball us, so the price won't be that high. If you can get 1.3 million, take it." "Okay," Noah nodded. 1.3 million isn't a lot, but at least it's something to get us back on our feet. At the same time, Jacob was lying on the sofa scrolling through his phone for pictures of furniture. He wanted to get an idea of the styles he liked. Elaine muttered from the side, "Jacob, don't go crazy buying furniture. We should save a little money so we can live better in the future." Jacob, "My son-in-law said that $2 million is specifically for buying furniture and appliances." Elaine suddenly got anxious and blurted out, "Furniture? What about money for our living expenses?" Jacob said, "What are you yelling about? Charlie gave us this money specifically for furniture and appliances. If we spend 1.5 million, the remaining 500,000 goes back to Charlie. Don't even try to convince me. I'm not giving you a single penny." "You!" Elaine gritted her teeth. But right then, Jacob had control of the $2 million and she had nothing. Until she could figure out his password, there was nothing she could do. Just then, Jacob spotted a set of furniture and sighed. "If we could just get a set of furniture like this, or even get that classical furniture from the Wilson family, it would look perfect in our new villa." The next morning, after breakfast, Charlie's family of four drove straight to Furniture City. Elaine had been stewing all night, trying to figure out how to get her hands on the money in Jacob's bank account. The thought of him spending it was making her sick with anxiety. Meanwhile, Mrs. Wilson's family was also up early. Right after breakfast, a truck pulled up. Workers loaded the Wilson family's classical furniture and hauled it off to the furniture market. On the west side of Orris Hill, there's a huge furniture city. Pretty much every furniture dealer in Orris Hill has a spot there. You can find everything from high-end to budget furniture, making it the go-to place for anyone looking to buy. Jacob had always been influenced by Mr. Wilson and had a real passion for antiques. He didn't just like browsing for antiques, he loved old furniture, especially pieces made from high-quality wood. He'd always admired the set of classical furniture in the Wilsons' villa. It was a shame he couldn't have it for himself, so he could only dream about it. Because of his love for old wooden furniture, Jacob headed straight for the wooden furniture hall as soon as they got to the Furniture City. The moment Elaine saw him beelining for the wooden furniture store, her face dropped. She snapped, "Jacob, don't you dare buy a bunch of that rotten-looking wooden furniture. Our house is a luxury villa. If you're going to buy something, buy some of that fancy European-style furniture. That wooden stuff is clunky and expensive, not to mention uncomfortable to sit on. It's a total waste of money." "What do you know?" Jacob scoffed. Mission-style furniture is all about the quality of the wood and its history. Plus, its value appreciates over time. It takes a person with some culture to understand that. Elaine shot back, "We went to the same university." "You think you're so much more educated than me?" Jacob waved his hand dismissively. "This kind of appreciation is about having a foundation. You just wouldn't get it." Then he turned to Charlie and said, "My good son-in-law, if we can find a nice set of classical furniture, this trip will have been worth it." Charlie nodded nonchalantly and said, "Dad, get what you like." When Jacob ignored her, Elaine stomped her foot in frustration. Normally, she would have thrown a fit, but now she didn't dare to lash out at him. After all, she was broke. Picking a fight right now would just put her at a bigger disadvantage. So she pulled Claire aside and whispered, "Claire, talk your dad out of buying that gaudy wooden furniture. It's expensive and ugly. What's wrong with keeping a few $100,000 in the bank for a rainy day? Isn't that a better idea?" Claire said with a sigh, "Mom, since Charlie gave Dad full control over the money, we shouldn't interfere." "You kid! Why aren't you on my side?" Elaine couldn't believe Claire was being so unsupportive, and it really stung. Claire said seriously, "Mom, you lost a lot of money playing cards. It's time to learn your lesson and back off. You already agreed to let Dad handle the money, so you have to respect his decision." Elaine was so uncomfortable, it felt like something was stuck in her throat. Just then, Jacob walked right into a store called Regal Furniture. It was a well-known shop in Orris Hill that specialized in classical furniture. As soon as he entered, a salesperson stepped forward and asked enthusiastically, "What can I show you today?" Jacob said, "I'd like to see your solid oak furniture. I'm looking for pieces for my living room." The salesperson quickly asked, "And how big is your living room?" Jacob said, "Almost 1,000 square feet. A living room over 1,000 square feet. The salesperson was stunned and blurted out, Wow, that's huge, isn't it?" Jacob, "It's the biggest villa model in Thompson. Of course, the living room is going to be big." The salesperson's eyes widened in shock. He quickly said, "Sir, for a living room that size, you'll need a lot of furniture to fill it up and make it feel cozy." With that, the salesperson rushed him over to a classical sofa set and explained, "Sir, this classical set is designed specifically for our clients with large homes. It seats 8 people comfortably and has a very grand presence." Jacob walked over and ran his hand along the sofa's armrest. He liked the smooth feel of the wood. "What's the price for this set?" he asked curiously. The salesperson replied, "Sir, this set is made from premium aged Appalachian oak. It's top quality material. If you're interested, I can give you the cost price. $1.98 million. Whoa! Jacob jumped back. "That's steep." The salesperson explained, "Well, it's made from Appalachian oak, the best of the best, so the price reflects that. But your place is a Thompson first-class villa worth hundreds of millions. A luxurious home like that requires a sofa set of this caliber." Elaine, standing off to the side, scowls. "What the hell kind of sofa costs almost $2 million? If we buy that thing, we'll have to sleep on it because we won't have a house left." Jacob shot her a glare, then turned back, embarrassed. "This set is a bit over our budget. Do you have anything cheaper? For example, isn't American black walnut usually a bit less expensive than the Appalachian oak?" The salesperson said, "A set in American black walnut would be around $1 million, but we don't have any in stock right now." He then added, "To be honest, most of our clients who want high-end wood prefer the Appalachian oak. The quality of the black walnut just doesn't compare." Jacob smacked his lips, a little disappointed. Buying a sofa for almost $2 million was definitely way over budget. After all, they didn't just need a sofa. They needed other furniture and electronics for the living room, plus furnishings for at least 2 bedrooms and the dining room. The bedroom and dining room furniture didn't have to be top of the line, but that would still run them a few $100,000. So if he wanted to get a really nice sofa, the budget couldn't go over $1.4 million. So he quickly asked the salesperson, "If I were to order a set made from the black walnut, how long would the delivery take?" The man thought for a moment. "It would take at least a month, maybe more. You see, that kind of wood is difficult to source. Once the lumber arrives, it has to be sent to the factory for processing. Then it takes even more time to ship it here to Orris Hill. That's way too long." Jacob thought to himself, couldn't the living room at least have a sofa now that the family has moved in? It looked like he'd have to find a cheaper one. As he was thinking, he suddenly heard a familiar voice say, "Is the owner in? Do you buy used old furniture? I've got some Appalachian oak." Jacob instinctively turned his head and was stunned to see his older brother Noah walking into the shop. Noah hadn't expected to run into Jacob's family here. Thinking about his own shabby state, his first instinct was to turn around and get out of there. Just then, a man walked out of the shop, looked right at Jacob, and asked, "Were you the one asking about selling some classical furniture?"